So this is a bit of a disaster. Now I can see why Zach was saying it's a lot harder to do a herringbone pattern, because I tried to do it all at once, and I tried to use some CA glue just to help hold the wood together, to use as like a clamp to help hold together while the wood glue dried. There's a lot of gaps. I rushed it. I bit off more than I could chew, and I wasn't patient. Luckily, I still have a bunch more pieces of wood. I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna see if I can salvage this, but chances are it's just a wasted project. But I'll see if I can try and salvage this. Alright. Let's continue. Overview of this cutting board. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail because a lot of the processes are very similar to processes on when I built the other cutting boards. You can check that video up somewhere up top. But what I really want to go over is why this glue up failed. So milling the wood and everything, you've seen that before. It's really easy. Joiner planer table saw. I cut it into 1-inch strips, and then I decided to glue it up together, and that's where everything went wrong. The first time I was not very patient, and what I did was I used wood glue, but then I put some CA glue in between, so that way it would hold the wood, so that way I wouldn't have to use clamps and I could go much faster. And I also decided to do the whole cutting board at once. That was a big mistake, and the whole glue up failed. There was gaps, it broke really easily, it just wasn't a strong glue up. So this time I decided to take 2 steps. I reinforced each joint with dowels, because that way it's also stronger, because these are mostly end grain joints. So the dowels really add to the strength. This is really, really strong. And don't worry, I used hardwood dowels, so they're not gonna rot. And I also glued it up 2 layers at a time. This helps so that way I can keep it square and that way it will stay square along the whole thing. I also did use a jig with some boards at 90 degrees to help with that. And I learned a lot from this, and this is something that Zach Builds was saying in a couple of his videos.
Really tight at a perfect 90 degrees, and then we're gonna use that as the base to glue the rest of them on. When it comes to glue ups, there's two big lessons I've learned. One is be patient, and the other is don't bite off more than you can chew.
And I learned that too. I wasn't being patient in the fact that I tried to do the whole thing at once, and I bit off more than I could chew. It probably took about 6 days to glue up the whole thing, and about 1 day to plane it, sand it, and finish it, and put on the handles and everything. So you've seen the planing and sanding. In my last video I show what water popping is and why water popping is necessary, especially on cutting boards. I applied a Watco butcher block finish, which is really smooth, and it really makes this, it really brings out that grain. And then I added some stainless steel cabinet handles with stainless steel screws on the underside as well to make sure that this won't rust. This was a fun challenge to complete. Thank you, Zach, for sending me footage for this video. Big shout out to him. This was heavily inspired off his coffee table that he did. That's a really fun video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Super cool to watch, and I also learned a few things from it. Anyway, that's it for this one. If you want to support my channel, the #1 thing you can do is to like and comment and subscribe. Also, if you want, you can go follow me on Instagram, and I'm sharing a project on there that I'm not sharing anywhere else. So go follow me on Instagram if you want to see some sneak peeks of what's going on behind these videos and what I'm doing other builds. And I will see you in the next video.